Man, okay, hey guys, hey, going live. Number three, time number three. So this third time's a charm. I'm having some serious technical difficulties, but I'm not giving up. We're gonna make this thing happen today. And so I said I want to go live, and I'm gonna go live. So here we go. And I hope you can hear me because at this point I'm not doing it again. So, so today we're going to talk about the death of fear. And I don't know what you're afraid of. It could be so many different things, man. I was afraid of a lot of different things, of course. But today we're going to talk about it. So if you know someone that needs to overcome a fear, if there's a fear that's real in your life, and you personally need to overcome a fear, we're going to take care of that today. We're going to handle it and work on it and jump on top of it. So follow along, and man, if you know somebody that has a fear they need to get a hold of and get over it, man, let's talk to them too. Comment, share with them, share this video with them at the end. So here we go, man. If you're watching this on the live, Randy Spear coming to you live. If you're watching this live, please comment live below. And if you're watching it on the replay, then hit replay, comment replay, so I get an idea where you're coming from. Hey, and text, man, put in there where you're calling from, where you're in, where you're watching from. Love to, love to know where you guys are from. So here we go. What are you afraid of? What is it? Is it afraid of the dark? Afraid of spiders? Afraid of heights? Man, you're afraid of water? Gosh, so many people are afraid of flying. Um, The number one thing people are afraid of, if you didn't know, the number one thing people are afraid of is afraid of public speaking. Second to death. Number two is afraid of dying. And what's crazy is if you think about it, the person giving the eulogy would rather be in the coffin. If you think about the order of fear, right? And so, man, let's get over that, because I don't know about you, but my fear was heights, and it was a serious fear. I mean, it was, for me, it was real, and I hadn't really thought about it for a long time. I hadn't thought about being afraid of heights in a while. It's been quite a bit while, and um, and today, a buddy of mine, a friend, my brother from another mother, Alan Lowe, did a post about overcoming your fears, and it just, when I started commenting on it, reminded me, of my fear of heights, and I started commenting on his post about it, and man, it just really brought that to reality, and I was just super moved by, the fact that it's not a fear for me anymore, and how exciting it is. And I thought, man, there's other people out there that have these fears that they are afraid of, and things that they don't do just because of this fear. And man, it shouldn't be that way, man. Life's too short for you not to be able to do what you want to do. And so I don't know about you, but my fear of heights was debilitating. I mean, like, seriously debilitating. If you know me, it didn't matter, man. It didn't matter if teasing, prodding, shaming me was not going to get me to overcome or do something that I was afraid of in heights. I mean, um, gosh, matter of fact, I was on a vacation years ago with Alan and his family and my family, and we had a chance to go ziplining. And man, I got all the way to the end. And I probably would have done it if the two of us could have gone. But anyway, long story short, I didn't do it. Walked all the way back down, took the harness off, said, nope, not for me, not going to happen. And gosh, that's probably like 10 years ago, but it was real. I mean, it was that real. I wasn't going to go up a ladder. I'd go up a 6-foot ladder if I had to do something. But man, I did, hanging Christmas lights was not exciting for me. It was not one of those deals. I'll do them all around the house, but it was not going to be hanging them way up there on the gutters and stuff. And so, it was happening, man. This was like for real for a long time, decades. And I wanted to overcome it. I mean, I knew I was missing out on some stuff that I really wanted to do, and it looked like fun. And I thought about, what, when I was doing my commenting on this post, it reminded me of why, I had gone through some stuff, and reminded me why I was afraid of heights and how that all came about. And it started out when I was a kid, um, fairly young, and my brother and stepbrother and stepsister were all swimming, and we were swimming at the public pool, or the neighborhood pool, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, we were swimming at this pool, and they had a high dive. And I mean, we're talking like Olympic high dive. And they were jumping on it, having a blast jumping from it. It really looked like fun. And so they finally convinced me to go up the steps and get on that thing. And they said, hey, if you go up, you can get back down, if you don't want to jump. Not happening. If you got a brother or sister that are older than you, I was the youngest, man, and if you got somebody older than you, it ain't happening. You're not coming back down the stairs. I was up there for like an hour on the end of that, on the end of that diving board, and was not moving. They'd jump on it, man, trying to bounce me off, and I'd just hold on to that thing for dear life and, man, screaming. And I think that was actually the time it finally cinched it, where I just did. After that, you couldn't get me on anything for heights. Was not happening. And I just told everybody I was afraid of heights. And it wasn't until I had a mentor who says pretty often, right? He says, let me do this. Do what you fear the most, and the death of fear is inevitable. And what he means is, right, by doing it over and over again, eventually it's like second nature. And so, I mean, I was not excited. I don't say fearful. I mean, I think we all get anxious if we had to speak in front of people. Even those that are professionals still get anxious. But I wasn't excited about speaking in front of people. But I needed to do it based on what I was doing and what I do now. And so I just started doing it. And the more I did it, he was right. The more it was easier. But I never applied it to heights. I just it was like one of those debilitating things that I just thought I was gonna have to live with the rest of my life. And then I read some books and did some stuff and realized that, it was just a story I was telling myself. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And again, if you've got a fear, if heights is your fear, man, comment. Tell me what your fear is. Comment below and tell me, hey, my fear is this or whatever. And man, I'd love to work through it. But ultimately, I started telling myself that heights aren't a big deal, right? Because when I first saw, do what you fear the most and the death of fears and everyone, I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. But it's true. I started working through that. And then I started telling myself, heights aren't a big deal. Not really heights don't bother me. And then I realized that I needed to be more powerful. Because listen, your subconscious doesn't know if you're lying to it. It only knows what you tell it. So the more, you've heard of what you focus on expands. Well, it's the same thing mentally too, right? So the more you tell yourself whatever it is, the more it happens and the more you make it real. And so by me continuing to tell people when they ask or anything, anytime, that was me. I was afraid of heights. And I kept telling myself that. So I stopped. I started saying, I like heights. Heights aren't a big deal. I don't mind heights at all. I can do things that are heights. Heights are fun. And I started saying heights are fun. And what's crazy is I had to do some stuff around the house and a few years back and climbed up the ladder. And I wouldn't say I was like super excited about doing it, but it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't debilitating. And let me tell you, before I would freeze up on a ladder. And when, you've all been on a ladder and that sucker shifts a bit and you're like, whoa. Right. Well, was grabbing the ladder and climbing down and going, forget it. It ain't happening. Whatever's going to, that branch is going to die. Yeah. But now it's like, okay. And so slowly but surely had to clean the gutters out. Man, I was way up that ladder, cleaning the gutters out. And it's not a big deal. Heights are not a big deal for me anymore. And what's crazy too is I finally got the opportunity to really overcome it by couple years ago now. We went on vacation and had a second shot at that zip lining thing. And I got to say, I was anxious just because I didn't know what to expect and I haven't done it before. And, it was really kind of a big step for me to kind of step out and go, hey, prove that I was going to be, I was going to go overcome this height thing. And so my whole family was with me, our daughter, grandson, and my wife, and she was right there by my side. And man, I got to tell you, we zip lined for like a couple hours. This wasn't, because what was kind of funny was, is this a short zip line? It was like 15 different stations. I mean, we were there for an hour or so zip lining. And so it wasn't just, and it was one of those deals. It's once you start, you don't get to come back. The only way to come back is to zip line back. So we just did it. And it was the most fun I've ever had. It was so awesome. And so now the freedom of overcoming that fear, man, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've overcome a fear, right, that was like debilitating to you, like totally stopped you, if that's if you had a fear like that, please comment below freedom, right? Join the Freedom Pack. And so I'd love to hear from you and figure out what your fear was, or hear from you what your fear and how you overcame it. Maybe it's a different way. Maybe, you did something different to overcome it. But man, I would just say, thank you, for following me, and thank you for those that supported me through that whole deal, because I was super, super cool. Now to be able to say I'm overcome that. Hey, do I have other fears? Absolutely. There's other stuff I'm working on, but that's it. I'm a work in progress, just like everybody else. And so, man, thank you so much for following and watching today. If you know someone that absolutely needs to see this, please share it with them. Do me a favor. It helps the algorithm by you commenting, and help sharing it with other people. And man, just thank you so much for the love and support. Subscribe to my YouTube, my Facebook, and now I'm on TikTok and Instagram. So all my different social medias, subscribe to those. And man, if you click on the notifications, you can get these notifications for when I go live. Appreciate the love and support. God bless you guys. Happy Friday. And the death of fear is inevitable. Let's make it happen, and let's get over our fears.